Alright guys, well I told you that I'd be back with a video on up potting, or what I call up potting. They call it slip potting or up potting, something, I don't know. But we changing the seedlings from the, I think it's a 3-inch, might be a 2-inch, to a 4-inch. Because the tomatoes and the tomatillos are starting to get root bound. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So as we come up here, and they are doing such a lovely job enjoying the sun and getting hardening off. Here we go. We'll pull this tomatillo out here. And you'll see, is it going to focus? Yeah, see, you can see the roots are starting to stick out. Especially, zoom in there. See the little white guys? Those are roots. So he's getting root bound. And before he gets too root bound, let's see if I can show you on the tomatoes. Well, nope, you can't see them on there because it's dry now. But they're all starting to get root bound, and that's the one thing you don't want, is the roots to get sticking out of the pot to a drastic amount. And you don't want them to start to have them where their roots are all curled up inside the pot. Then it's hard for them to get established into the big pots when you transplant them outside. So, yeah, this is a 2-inch. Might be a 3-inch. I think we got the bigger pots this time. So these are probably 3-inch. And we're going to put them into a 4 or 6-inch. I don't know. Bigger pot anyways. Bigger in roundness and deeper in depth. So, that's what we're going to do. So we went down here. And I got my handy dandy tote out. And in here is 2 square cubic feet, or 1 bag of this Pro Mix garden soil. This is the same garden soil that I use. You can see it's 2 cubic feet. 2 bags of 1 cubic feet, which means that's 2 cubic feet compressed in there. So I took one of these bags and put it in that tote. And this is the same soil that I put in my grow towers. I put 1 big bag of perlite in here. Added some water and mixed it all up. You can see how nice that perlite is. That's what you want. You want it well draining. You can see I pick it up. There's no water wringing out. It's not dripping. It holds consistency until I squish it just a little and it crumbles. Brownie mix. It's exactly what you want out of your soil. So now we're going to go get those seedlings and start potting them up. I think I'm going to fill up a couple of these pots first. And then I'll take you back up onto the porch and put the little seedlings in the bigger pots. So I think this will be fun. And you guys get to come along with. So here we go. Okay, we're going to sit you up here where you can see now. And we're going to take one of these big containers, and I'm just going to kind of scoop the soil in there. Now remember, there's already soil in those tomatoes and tomatillos and peppers. So we're not going to fill it completely full, and I'm not going to compact it down. I'm not going to push it down. I'm simply filling it just to the top neatly, because then I got to put a hole in there to put the tomatoes in there. Now a couple of them, I have 2 tomatoes or 2 tomatillos in a block up there, and we're going to separate them and put them in their own individual pots. And the reason for that is so that they have more size to them. I was making sure that it wasn't dripping. I was going to say maybe I got to let it sit for a minute, so, but no. Okay, so we're going to fill up these pots quick. And to just scoop the soil in there. Alright, that's way too much. Whack it on the sides, make sure there's no air bubbles. There we go. Usually if you just tap it, it will fill in all the air bubbles. And there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and do probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these. Then we're going to go up to the porch and see what we can see about transplanting them. And again, this is just a repetitive thing. You just stick them in here, do their thing, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, and it's good. Okay. Alrighty. I also have to make sure that I have enough tags. I did just go to the store this morning and pick up some more tags because I noticed I was running out, and I was labeling them by the row, not by the actual container. So I figured, well, each of these containers needs to be labeled, so we better go ahead and get some more tags. And so that is exactly what I did. That way we don't get them confused or mixed up. And if I have to have somebody watching the garden, at least they know what's what. Alright, so there's 4 pots. So now we're going to go ahead and go up to the porch and tackle the seedlings. So let me carry these up to the porch and I'll be right back. Alright, so we're on the porch. And we're going to do a tomatillo first because it's a single one. So let me show you this little guy. He's getting real big. Beautiful little guy. And he's just a single stem in there. He does have a little friend with him, but I don't think that little friend's going to make it. So we're going to take him out of there. I'm going to set you down and hope you stand so you can see. When you take your seedlings out, first we're going to take his little tag out. And then you're just going to squeeze the sides of the pot. And these don't have finger holes because they're just cheap ones that I got from the dollar store or some big box store. And I just pushed a little bit. Now the soil in these are a bit dry because they've been outside this morning. So here's our big pot. Let's move it so you can see here. Here's our big pot. And I'm just going to take, let's show you here. I'm just going to take my hand and put it in here. And make a little, squeeze the soil to the sides. And in a minute, once I'm done squeezing it to the sides of here, I'll show you what I got. And there you go. See, we got this nice little hole here that I'm going to put that entire thing right in the hole. So, I'll show you this way, and then maybe I'll get my helper to man the camera. And as you can see all those roots. You can see he's got good healthy roots, but on the bottom, they're starting to turn round. And that's because most plants are similar to a tree. And so the height of the green above the soil is pretty much usually the same length as your roots down below. So we're just going to kind of squeeze him just a hair. He says crunch, crunch, just to loosen him up. You can see I'm not scratching it. Some people scratch them. I'm not going to scratch him because I'm going to go ahead and water him in soon. So I'm just kind of making his root ball more round. There we go. I'll just kind of squish him a bit there. See how I'm pulling him down just a hair, but not a lot. That's all you want to do. You don't want to give them, they're pretty tolerant and they can do with a lot of being handled. I just choose to not handle mine very much. This is a purple tomatillo. I'm sticking him right into the hole there. Push him in so there's no air. Then because I have this other pot, I'm going to take a little bit of the soil that I just brought up from the other pot. And I'm going to tuck him in. Make sure that there's soil all the way around him. And then we are going to also top him off with some vermiculite after we get him watered in. So Alright, just giving him a little tappy. I'm not pushing the soil down. We don't want to push the soil down. Some people say, oh, tuck him in and push him down, but no. I'm going to give him a little bit of water to eliminate all those little air pockets that might be in there. And that's also going to settle that soil down in there. And it's going to water the root ball that I already told you is a little bit dry. So, there is our purple tomatillo, repotted or up-potted. Here's the little tag, so we just stick that back in there. And voila. Now, the purple tomatillo has been up-potted, or slip-potted, whichever you want to call it. Now, this one here is 2 in 1 pot. And since this one is a little shabby, I think I'm going to leave it as well. You only need 2. You have to have a minimum of 2 purple tomatillos in order for them to actually pollinate each other. They will not self-pollinate like some tomatoes. Tomatillos are a bit different, so you have to have 2 tomatillo plants in order for you to get fruit. So we're going to do this one next, but I'm going to water that first one in. So, let me bring you up here and grab the cup and show you how to water him in. Alright, so I guess we're just going to stick this little guy up here on the cat cage. Hang on, let's move this guy over a bit. We're running out of room because we got the other pots up here too. So we're going to stick him up here, get him nice and level, like so. There he is, nice and handy dandy. We got our handy dandy little cup and our fertile water, rainwater and worm compost. And so, see if we can get the leaves out of the way. I'm just going to kind of drizzle a little right on the top of the soil there. You can see how it floats and it'll sink down in there. Get that corner. Now we're not losing any water out of the bottom yet, so I'm going to give it a little more because obviously his root ball is still a bit dry, like you've seen. And I've got a glare on my camera, so I'm not even sure how much of this you can see. But here we go. Give him a good water in there. Now you can see he's starting to drip on the bottom. Perfect. Now I know he's got adequate water. You can see where the soil's starting to sink, so I'm just going to level it back out of here. And then we'll get the bag of vermiculite, and we will go ahead and cover the soil so Mother Nature's not bare. Alrighty, here's the bag of vermiculite. And vermiculite it's not easy to do it one-handed, but I'm gonna flip you around here so you can see me. Prop you up on this cage. And hope you don't get tipped over, because you might just get tipped over. Alright. Open up the vermiculite. And just like I did the grow towers, I'm going to do the same thing to this pot. So, here we go. One-handed, cover with vermiculite here. Just level it all off. And I will get the spray bottle and I'll just mist the top of the vermiculite to make sure it doesn't blow away, because it is quite light and fluffy. So, just stick it on there. Tuck it around a little. You can see how I'm trying to make sure that all the soil is covered. Again, Mother Nature is modest. She does not like to be naked. So, cover up all the little holes. There we go. And voila. The purple tomatillo is completed and ready to continue to grow for a little bit longer until I up pot them in their permanent pots where they'll trellis up a trellis and grow and give us lots of beautiful fruit. So with that being said, this has already become a 15-minute long video. So I will cut this short, and thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed and you like this if you enjoyed this. I will go ahead and do another one here in a bit with the tomatoes, because we do have 2 tomatoes in each pot. And these are good and healthy ones. So what I am going to do, oops, no focus, there we go. What I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and split the tomatoes. You can see the 2 back there too. So we're going to split those and put 1 tomato in each pot, so they have plenty of room to grow and give us plenty of fruit come spring or summer. So I hope you like this, you enjoyed it, you learned something new. And remember, you are someone, you do matter. I love you. And we will see you on the next video, all about how we're going to split the tomato seedlings and pot them up. Until that next video, ciao now.